Stock traders, welcome to 2018. Already it's been a fantastic trading week for the first one in. The US S&P 500 had the best start. Oil's up, gold's up, palladium's considering its rush. We've got grains recovering, and we've got the normal crypto frenzy that's been going on. So let's hit it. Let's start off with the energy market at the moment. Now we've got oil hitting around for the WTI hitting around the $62 mark. It bounced off that with a bit of profit taking on the Friday session. That's obviously caused issues in Venezuela. Their output's decreasing by 50,000 a month, as well as the normal political unrest, and as well as the overall economy there not doing too good. As a major oil exporter, that's affecting the price. OPEC is cutting production, pushing the price up. Russia naturally wants a higher price as well. Once we get over the $62 mark, it's shale oil from US that comes back in, but that's not going to be in for quite a few months. So I'm bullish on oil at the moment. After sort of the session we had on Friday, it finished at $61.58 for WTI. I'm probably going to put a buy in around 61. See if I'm not going to short it, just see if it pops back down. But see what it does on the Monday. There's plenty of upside still there for oil for next week for sure. It's more of a technical basis whether it's going to get over that $62 mark. Now oil feeding into the gasoline market. Gasoline, last week I said short that from over $1.80, and it did have a beautiful sort of run down, and it recovered back to $1.78 at the end of the week. At the moment where it is at the moment, I wouldn't long or short. I want to see what happens. If there's any refinery issues, the price could shoot up, but there is plenty of inventory for gasoline at the moment. Demand with the massive blizzard they're having, demand actually drops off a little bit because people aren't around driving, even planes are stranded. All these things feed into a lower demand for gasoline. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. Look, over $1.80, definitely going to look at shorting it again, but I want to see the reason why. If it's because there are a bunch of refineries that have had damage. Remember we had Hurricane Harvey later last year. Even then, the price, let's have a look, it was around the $1.83 mark it topped out at. So, I mean, that was a major event. This is probably not considered as a major event, even with the price of oil. So, I wouldn't short $1.80. I want to see what happens. $1.81, that's definitely in the short territory for me. But if it keeps dropping, I mean, we're $1.79-ish around there at the moment. If it gets down to $1.76, $1.75, definitely look at the fundamentals, but it could be a nice long. But again, take profits, only going to be a couple of dollars for that. I'm not going to be holding it for that long. Natural gas, of course, has been really surprising for the winter for them. We're in the February futures now, and the market overall was obviously expecting a warm February, a warm winter overall, even the cold blast at the moment. So that's, I mean, natural gas at $2.78. I mean, that was summer prices. It did have a nice peak at $3, about $3.05, and then shorted from there. So pretty much with natural gas at the moment, I'm staying out of it. It can eat up equity so quickly. If it gets back up to that over $3 range, I'll be looking at the fundamentals, see if it could be a nice short. But if it does do something stupid and drop down to $2, say let's go 60, under 65 basically, I'll be looking at logging it. But I'll be very careful because the thing of natural gas, there is a lot of inventory at the moment. Demand is not as what they're expecting, and then on top of that, as the oil production keeps up, you're going to have much more natural gas produced as well. Onto the grains. Now, grains, the other week I was talking about corn, that finally had a recovery. The big mercantile banks have massive shorts on grain at the moment. They have started offloading them, which has allowed the price to go up. There was weak export data on Friday. Some people were sort of priced in a little bit, but still a bit of a shock. You can see sort of bounce up and down. I think it was sort of, went down and then bots kicked in, pushed up again. It ended around that $3.51. For corn at the moment, I'm overly bullish. There's USADA's got a release coming out this Friday, which will show the crop yields and a lot of information about the different grains. The ones I'm keeping my eye on at the moment is corn. I'm not going to short it, not going to long it at the moment, but if I start seeing it tick up, that's definitely a long. If it starts going down, I'm probably not going to short it. I just want to see if it really has that much more downside potential. And then soybeans. I keep looking at this because it is one that has sort of recovered and again bounced down a bit, ended at $9.70. I wish I was long on that the other week, and that was some easy money there. At $9.70 again, I'm going to keep out of it for now, but if it gets below that $9.65, so towards that $9.60 mark, it's an easy long. I probably won't short it because for soybean overall, my advice is that it's a bullish, back in a bullish territory now after being subdued for so much last year. I'm out of sugar at the moment, out of wheat. There could be some damage to wheat with the cold in America. That waits to be seen. But the price, I mean, the price is off on that. There's nothing that's really supporting a price increase for wheat at the moment. Again, see what the USADA increase, the report that comes out next week or this coming week happens at $4.30. Again, I'm not really going to trade that. If it falls back to say 4.20, I'll be looking at longing it. And again, I wouldn't short it because even grains overall I'm bullish about. I'm not looking at shorting. I'm either looking for a price decrease and then the fundamentals behind that. If it's a good time to go long, and then if it does get too high, just wait it out, see if it does come back down. And now onto the metals. So gold's continued its beautiful run for the start of the year, 1320 around there. A lot of commentators are saying that without any additional reason for it to sort of sit higher than 1350, maybe where it is now is sort of its true range. I'm certainly sticking out of gold at the moment. It could just take some political issue of North Korea again or something to shoot that up to 1370, 1400 even. And remember last time that it shot up over 1300 when there was political, it was only like 1250, 1260. It didn't take much to get up there, so this could easily push through 1400 if there is some massive issue. If there's not, I mean, there's a weak US dollar. Whether gold naturally is going to move up or down by that much now remains to be seen. January and February are normally premium gold price months. So gold and silver I'm sitting out at the moment. Palladium, of course, it's a huge deficit between demand and supply. Russia controlling 80% of the market with that. I'm sure they're happier with a much bigger price at the moment. So I would say palladium, but I feel palladium's going to bring platinum up. Platinum finished the week, where are we? Platinum finished at 1086. It's going to hit over 1100. So yeah, platinum finished at 974. For me with platinum, I think what I'd rather do is wait to see if it comes back to sort of 960, maybe even 950. If there's just some profit taking. At some point, I'm sure I'm very bullish. It's going to hit the 1,000. I can just really see that because as palladium gets so expensive, the car makers will start substituting palladium with platinum and the other members of the family. But there's nothing that's going to unwind this price that quickly. So out of all the metals at the moment, probably platinum is my best buy. But I wouldn't get into it now. I want to see if it comes back a bit. Definitely wouldn't short it. Just want to see if it comes back, so it does during the week. And if there's a good position, get in. So that's my picks for the week. Overall, the main ones I'm going to be riding is keeping an eye on that gasoline getting up over $1.80 again, whether that's good for a short. Natural gas, if that gets over $3 for a short or down to $2, 60, 65, whether it's worth longing it. Oil, if it pulls back sort of a few dollars, maybe an easy long there as well. And then platinum again, if that pulls back to 960, lower than that, for me that's long as well. And then on the grains, definitely looking at a corn long. I mean, you could probably put it now if you want, but I just want to see what happens on Monday because there's been such a great start. The year a lot of prices moved. I do want to see just what happens. So yeah, good luck trading. We'll chat during the week. Thank you.